Good morning. I am Glenna Edwards, the very proud principal of Margaret Brent Middle School, and I would like to welcome and recognize the following people attending our school-based health center ribbon cutting this morning. First, I would like to introduce Delegate Crosby, Commissioner Colvin, Board of Education Chair Karen Bailey, Board of Education Vice Chair Kathy Allen, Health Officer for St. Mary's County, Dr. Mina Brewster, St. Mary's County Sheriff Tim Cameron, and St. Mary's County Public Schools Superintendent Scott Smith. We are excited to open the doors of this great resource for our students and our families as we embrace the mission of educating the whole child. At this time, I would like to introduce our Superintendent, Dr. Smith, who would like to share a few words.
Thank you very much, Principal Edwards. When we look back at 2020, a year of tumult, isolation, and honestly, anger, we will need to remember there were heroes who rose, leaders who sacrificed, and a community that came together to carry us through. Now, we're still in the middle of this story, but today's ribbon cutting stands as a shining example of how vision can carry us all through darkness. As resources and opportunity converged, the Equity Task Force leaned in and today delivers a resource that will address health equity and access in the north and south of St. Mary's County. These school-based health centers will provide essential services initially to our students and ultimately to our community. I'm thankful every day to live, raise my children, and work in the mother county, and hope that our efforts inspire others to see what is possible when we put our hearts, hands, and minds to meaningful work. Thank you for coming out today, all of you. It's a very cold morning, but we have warmth in our hearts. At this point, I would like to introduce Ms. Kathy Allen, Board of Education Vice Chair, to share some words. Mrs. Allen.
Welcome, honored guests. We're here today to celebrate two important additions which will support students, families, and our community. It's not an exaggeration to say that this day has been a long time in coming. There have been discussions about standing up a school-based health center in St. Mary's County for well over 20 years. Various parties have met, discussed, and worked on plans to bring an important health care resource to the county. Well-intentioned, but ultimately not successful until now. Perhaps one silver lining from the pandemic is that, much like a Venn diagram, all the right components intersected at just the right time. In order to stand up a school-based health center, you must have a sponsoring entity, a willing school system, demonstrated need, available funding, and an acceptable facility. You also need to have individuals with the drive, energy, and vision to get over all the hurdles that can and do crop up. Our Venn circles are populated by people with the necessary drive, energy, and vision. School-based health centers help to improve educational outcomes by providing healthcare and wellness activities that allow students to be seen by healthcare providers such as a doctor, physician's assistant, or nurse practitioner. Once seen, a student can often return to class as appropriate. During a time when we have more students with chronic health conditions like diabetes and asthma, school-based health center staff can provide helpful guidance and monitoring that ultimately means students don't have to leave school. By returning students to class in a timely manner, they miss much less instructional time, and better attendance is a crucial component of successful learning. While it may have taken well over 20 years in a pandemic to bring us to this outcome, the students, families, staff, and community will benefit greatly by the perseverance of Dr. Brewster, Dr. Smith, and Sheriff Cameron in helping to make these school-based health centers a reality. The Venn circles of the St. Mary's County Health Department, Public Schools, and the Sheriff's Department all intersected with CARES Act funding to bring about a much-needed resource for our community. Their hard work will pay great dividends. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy Allen, for those wonderful words. At this time, we're going to have the wonderful principal of Margaret Brent Middle School with the big scissors. Let's cut this ribbon.